I have many friends, subscribers, viewers, and even some family members who support Ron Paul or are part of the Ron Paul revolution. However, the mainstream media and talk radio have been vehement in opposing him, spinning narratives as diverse as "he's nuts" to "he could never beat Obama." Glenn Beck is the conservative libertarian talk show host and former host of Fox News Channel's The Glenn Beck Program. Beck has supported many libertarian causes in the past, including abolishing the Federal Reserve, returning to a gold standard, massively cutting government spending, reassessing entitlement programs, and even privatizing certain functions of the Defense Department and streamlining it. He is also friends with noted libertarians such as Penn Jillette and Judge Andrew Napolitano.
How would you describe your brand of politics?
I don't know, libertarian, but I hack the libertarians off. I mean, aren't there, look, I believe in so much of what libertarians, that philosophy.
Did Harry Brown seem like a nut to you?
Don't remember Harry Brown.
Finally, South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham seems to have a little problem with libertarians. In the South Carolina Republican Convention over the weekend, he said, and I quote, "I am not a libertarian." No, go on. He said, if you are, you're welcome to vote for me. Oh, now I'm tempted. And build this party. But we're really not going to build this party around libertarian ideas. I know. I hate that old-fashioned freedom thing.
Rating. Why? Because, the libertarian view is, isolationist from a national security point of view. Moral issues have no place in a conservative movement.
See, I consider myself a libertarian.
And by the way, I apologize to all libertarians for calling myself a libertarian. I've always said in the past that I've had libertarian leanings. I'm a conservative libertarian leanings. I have to tell you that those leaning, I am almost horizontal. I'm leaning so libertarian right now. Are you a libertarian? Yeah, I think so. I say that with respect to libertarians because I don't think they want me in their camp sometimes.
You know I want.
I know.
You know that.
After initially supporting former Pennsylvania Senator Rick Santorum, Beck forgot his apparent libertarian leanings and went on to endorse the painfully establishment Republican candidate, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney.
There's something to be said that I think that Mitt Romney is a nice guy. He's a decent guy, etc., but I'm for him now.
Well,
I'm for him.
I'm for him.
Whatever happened to the anti-establishment, pro-libertarian Beck we all knew and loved? And while he may argue that the ends of defeating President Obama justifies the means of nominating a liberal governor to do so, supporting the consistently inconsistent Massachusetts governor would be a violation of Beck's own values as laid out in his book Broke, as I'll show in a minute. The third part of Beck's book, Broke, is a plan. Now, let's see if Mitt Romney would be part of the problem or part of the solution. Well, I can already spy a few that Mitt Romney would be in conflict with. Alright, step 6. Scalpels, hatchets, and chainsaws. Although Mitt Romney apparently will cut government spending by $500 billion in fiscal year 2016, that's still an 8% increase from spending today. That's hardly spending cuts. Meanwhile, Ron Paul would have already balanced the budget. This is from Jacob Sillam's Absolutely Profligate. And as reasons Matt Welch has pointed out, he has no credible plan for cutting spending. He goes around the country bashing President Obama for cutting $500 billion from Medicare, and constantly attacked Texas Governor Rick Perry for calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme. This isn't really a plan Glenn Beck should be endorsing. And what about step 7, declare war on defense dollars? Mitt Romney thinks we're starving the Defense Department. He thinks we ought to throw even more money at the defense budget, even though we've already got the largest one in the world. He called President Obama's trivial defense spending cuts irresponsible and would reverse them. Ron Paul is the only one who would return to a constitutionally sound, founding father-based foreign policy. Finally, step 8, spit ourselves out of the system. Now, in this section, Glenn Beck advocates for a flat tax. Now, neither Ron Paul nor Mitt Romney support a flat tax, but let's look at whose plan is closer to Beck's. Ron Paul's plan would get rid of the problems of the income tax because it would abolish the income tax. There would be no more special loopholes for groups. There'd be no more aggressive IRS. Meanwhile, Mitt Romney's plan just kind of lowers rates and closes loopholes. It doesn't do anything to solve the fundamental structural problems of the income tax. So, it seems like from comparing these two plans, although neither perfectly fit Beck's view, Ron Paul's is much closer. If Glenn Beck really wants to be accepted by the libertarian movement, he should be one of the few and the proud on talk radio who will stand up for his values and endorse Ron Paul. That's why I was so disappointed to hear Glenn Beck endorsing Mitt Romney instead of Ron Paul. And that's why I hope he'll eventually come around. Because when he does, if he does, maybe Ron Paul will then have someone to fight with him against the system. Rate, comment, subscribe, and check out these other awesome channels for liberty.